What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be talking about Splitgate 2, an upcoming release that you can play right now because it's in open beta. And they're saying it'll stay in open beta until full launch, which is pretty cool on 1047 games. But I just want to talk about my opinions on Splitgate 2. This video is coming out a little later than I intended because I was able to get into the alpha, but I was having computer issues at the time, and then I was like, I need to take a break from YouTube. Bunch of stuff happened all at once when the alpha happened. So, I'm back now, and Splitgate 2 is back, now in open beta. So, I have been playing it a little bit more, and some of my opinions have changed since the alpha, and I'm still going to mostly go off the script and the points I made in it over the alpha, because the core issues I have with the game haven't changed, and I don't think they ever will. So, to start, is Splitgate 2 better than Splitgate 1? At the current iteration, no, certainly not. Definitely not better. Do I think Splitgate 2 is a good sequel to the original? Not really. It doesn't feel like a Splitgate sequel, to me, at least. It feels like a different game. And I don't want that to be misconstrued. I like the gunplay. It's fluid, it's solid, just like it was in the first game. Movement, also very good. Sliding, great addition. Movement feels great. And I personally love the design changes. It got a whole new coat of paint, has a new unified art style that makes Splitgate feel like an actual IP, which I do really enjoy that. It has something unique to it. It's like an in-universe sport, but not in the way that Apex Legends is. And I don't really like the way Apex Legends is handled in that way, but Splitgate seems more like reasonable to me. Now, this part is a little janky because there were some new maps added. But in some of the maps that were in the alpha, at least, portals weren't that important compared to Splitgate 1. And some of the maps that were added later, I feel like address this pretty well. But compared to what you can do in Splitgate 1 with portals, there's way less you can do. And I know probably the big stem of that is when the first game blew up on TikTok. A lot of people played it for a very short amount of time, and they're like, I don't understand portals, I'm not going to learn them. And then they just quit, which I get. I understand that, I guess, even though I love the portals. But Splitgate 2 maps from the alpha felt more like Call of Duty maps than Splitgate maps, but with the size of Splitgate maps. They just didn't have enough places to put your portals, and they weren't in all that advantageous of spaces, in my opinion. So there wasn't a whole lot you could really do creatively with the portals. You could maybe get to places a little bit faster, but you weren't getting crazy shots on people, which is something I really loved in the original, is the crazy portal tricks you could do. So yeah, traversal feels a little slower, and it makes the maps, which might be a little smaller than Splitgate 1, feel a lot larger. And this might just be the games I get in. And in the beta, definitely doesn't feel like it's as much of a problem as it was in the alpha, so this has been addressed a decent amount. Deathballing was very good, whereas in Splitgate 1, it didn't feel like it was that great to deathball. Deathballing is so big, at least it was in the alpha. It doesn't feel as bad now, so good on them. But yeah, jetpack, slight issues with that. There's like no... So a big thing that a lot of maps had in Splitgate 1 was like ledges, holes, gaps, things that you could jump and fly over and get through. It feels a little bit less like there is now. Some maps, again, this is talking about the alpha more so than the beta. The beta has some more verticality in its maps, some. But the alpha had like none. And one of my favorite things in Splitgate were the maps with a lot of verticality, because the portals let you go up and down the map very quickly. You could also stalk the stairs. There's a lot you could do in terms of dealing with verticality in Splitgate 1, whereas in Splitgate 2 you have all the tools to do it. It's just you don't really have the maps to do it on, which there is a map editor in Splitgate 2, and you could load up custom lobbies and things like that, so there is support for that stuff. So I will commend them for that. That is really cool that it's not just on launch, it's in beta that you can do that stuff, which is really cool, guys. I do appreciate that. And honestly, that stuff is all nitpicky. Maps will get better, I'm sure. I'm sure maps will come out that I prefer. But here's my biggest issue with Splitgate 2. Alright? The class system and the loadout system. The original game, it's flat out an arena shooter. It wore its inspiration on its sleeve. It feels like, to me, Halo 3, and of course you gotta talk about Quake, things like that. But Halo 3 is like where this stems from. But going from Splitgate 1 to Splitgate 2 feels like the difference between Halo 3 and Halo 4. And yeah, we're just leaving Reach out of the equation. Like, it's just 3 to 4. Splitgate 2 feels like it's sidestepping its inspirations and what made it unique and innovative in its time to instead chase fads and trends. Splitgate 1 had a very simple combat loop. The countdown ends and the game starts. Everyone has the same exact loadout, and it came down to mechanical skill and map knowledge. You know, where you could place your portals, hitting headshots, knowing where power weapons spawn. And now with the loadout system in Splitgate 2, it shifts a large amount of winning the game to a menu. And this is an example from the alpha right here, but it was like a week between me starting the alpha and making and writing this. But Sabrask is one of the classes. I was killed by the Sabrask shotgun because each class can only use the weapons under its loadout class stuff. But Sabrask shotgun killed me like 3 times, and during the alpha, I don't think I died to the Sabrask marksman rifle a single time. I've been killed by the Sabrask shotgun now a few times. I still don't think I've died to the marksman rifle once. But, like, it just sucks because Arrows has really, really good guns all around and a great kit. I'll get more into that here in a second. But basically where I'm coming from with this part of the video is Splitgate, you know, the map knowledge and the mechanical skills, where the game's at. I really would hate to lose a competitive match because Timmy Piddlepants wanted to use the Meridian Charge shotgun against 4 arrows using the best DMR in the game. That's where that's coming from. It sucks. There's still issues with the class balance. It was much worse than the alpha. Like, genuinely, if you played anything other than arrows, you were throwing in the alpha. But, you know, it's in beta. Things aren't perfectly balanced. Things could change. But still somehow, I wish even in the alpha, the most balanced feeling class was the Meridian. And the Meridian's, like, big ability is just wall hacks, which is crazy. They did tone down the wall hacks a little bit. But why is the wall hack character feel the most balanced? Because Sabrask is your tank style class, but they're not really tanky. They are visually larger, and they have a barricade, which is kind of ass, and then the grenades are, again, kind of ass. And then Arrows class. So if we're equating this to Destiny channel, gotta keep that in mind. Meridian, most balanced one. That's your Warlock. They have a lot of team support, whether that be healing teammates, giving them speed boost, slowing down enemies, wall hacks, things like that. Sabrask, it's your tanks. Titan barricade. They're Titan. They have Titan barricades. And, like, grenades. And then our Eros, which is the hunter, fast. Their thing is being fast. So the Eros class is about moving fast and fragging out, which is very good in a game about quick movement and fragging out. And also, they have the ability to heal themselves. And they can overheal. So the fastest class is also the tankiest. What are we doing? I'm not saying all class-based shooters are slop and garbage, but like from what I've seen of the game called The Finals, because I never played it because there's a lot that I don't like about it that I've seen. But basically, if you swap the map destruction for portals, and it's like the developers had the balls to pay voice actors, it's The Finals, you know? But at least Splitgate 2 doesn't use AI voices, I think, right? Another big thing is... Sorry, I'm looking at my script from the alpha, and I'm reinterpreting it. So, matches are split into rounds, which really fits the sporty theme of Splitgate 2, which I do like in concept. It's like innings in baseball, or quarters, or periods in, like football, or I guess American football, or like hockey. But oh my god, holy shit, I want to blow my balls off with a 12-gauge shotgun when my team sucks ass. We lose the first round of 5, and I have to sit there for 2 more rounds getting my dick beat in. If that's how competitive works, that's fine. That makes sense. I like that. But if that is for the casual playlist, let's pause. Wait a minute. Think about this. What are we doing? I loved Quick Match in Splitgate 1 because every game was like 5 to 7 minutes. Like, you got in, you got out, you got in another one. It was really quick and a ton of fun in a short period of time. Whereas Splitgate 2, the games take so much longer because they're like, round 1. You lost. Round 2. And you have to do that for 3 to 5 rounds. And I did have complaints about game modes in the alpha, but they asked us about that stuff, made my opinions, and yeah, they seem to have actually gone to work to fixing that stuff, so big props to them on that. Just keep the rounds in comp. I don't want to deal with it in casual matchmaking. I just want, it's team deathmatch first to 50, not like first to 20 out of 5 rounds. Stop. I don't want at minimum 60 kills. And they do have a 24-player massive map mode where the game is split into, I think, 3 teams of 8. And it's pretty cool. I don't think I'll play much of that because it's just so hectic. I didn't like it too much. But it's a cool idea, I think. It feels a lot like Battlefront, like classic Battlefront 2, like Galactic Conquest type thing. So I think it's interesting. I might explore it more, but at the moment I'm just not super sold on it. Maybe once I upgrade my characters so I can have all the attachments and have good loadouts, maybe I'll explore that option. Because God forbid we load into a game on an even playing field with every opponent. All of that being said, we're going to leave this video off on a somber note of no hope left in my body. And honestly, I'm disappointed. I don't know if I could ever really be satisfied with Splitgate 2 over the first. I feel like a portalless mode is probably inevitable because it had to happen in the first one because people didn't like portals because they couldn't understand them. And I doubt that... I don't think they'll ever make a Splitgate Classic mode where portals are active and everyone starts with the exact same loadout. They get rid of the class stuff, and it's just, you're on a map, there's weapons, have fun. I don't think that'll ever happen, because honestly, if we had a mode where the game forewent the class and loadout system, and it's just old school Splitgate with the new movement, the new weapons, I would be very happy with that. But I don't think that'll ever happen because it would dilute the player base so much. You have people that might like the 24-player game. You might have people that like Splitgate 2 and the class system and stuff. You might have people that like that class system, but they don't like Portals. And then you might have people that like Splitgate 1. And then there's people that will be like, I like Splitgate 1 better because I don't like the class stuff, but maybe I don't like Portals. So then you're having to like rearrange the game into the 24-player game, the base game as it is now, Portalless mode, classic mode, and then maybe classic Portalless also, unless it's just a rotator that classic and Portalless are on. But then I could only play the game on certain days because I don't like this. It's just, it doesn't feel like Splitgate 2. It feels like it's just not that good. I guess I'm just a grumpy old man in his like mid-20s that craves the good old days of possibly one of the best FPS experiences ever made. A game that looked back on the past and took inspiration from something beloved by a lot of people and used it as a basis of its own innovation to find its own identity, its own niche. And it got rid of all of that to chase trends that people aren't huge on. And that's honestly just sad. So anyways, that's about it for my Splitgate 2 beta review. I might play more of it. Played it on stream the other day on 4 different streams, so if you want to check that out, I guess you can. And yeah, let me know what you think down below. Maybe I'll play more of it, maybe my opinion will change, but as it stands, I just wanted Splitgate 1 Part 2, you know what I mean? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. See you next time.